Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Marvel Snap content. Anyway, yesterday I posted a video about hitting Infinite with Fantomex, and I did record some games today, not with my camera or anything, just recorded some games to show you what I mean by how effective he is against Thanos. Before we get into it, though, I'm going to show the deck one more time, that we don't have to go watch the other video about me talking about Fantomex and versus Thanos and the meta at the moment, and how I think Fantomex is fantastic in this meta. So let's go ahead and break into the deck. All right, so let me go like that. I like Silver Sable as one of my one drops because she steals power, and then she's usually used in bounce, but like in this scenario where we're using Scorpion Brand New Day, it's quite effective because you're going to take some power away from whatever they're going to probably place anyway, and then you can stack it later by bringing her back and doing it again, or hitting that unit that they may play with -2 from Fantomex, and you're able to stack it up even more, maybe potentially with Marrow if it hits it. Like, you're able to get away with a lot just by stealing some power. It's for a low cost. That even if she dies, she has value, and you can bring her back later with like Morgan Le Fay, or kill her yourself and bring her back with Morgan Le Fay and do it again, and kind of have like a semi little bounce tech in your deck that's just annoying. And also, she's a great sacrifice for Thanos. It's just like he's going to target the weakest unit. It's probably gonna be her, so it's fine either way. Nico Minoru, I like this card a lot. Ideally, your best like gamble is just doing this. It doesn't matter on who. You have Morgan Le Fay in your deck, you can always retrieve them later. Ideally, don't do it on Fantomex though. That's kind of dumb. But like, in the early game, hit your Marrow with it, hit your Blade with it. That way you can get your discard and destroy in the same turn. You can even hit Gambit with it. For the most part, if this cycles around early, use it. The next best one would probably be the cloning one, because cloning things like Marrow, Venom, because you could eat things, and then like after he's done eating the things, you can clone him back into your hand at his current power, which is kind of crazy. So also you can clone Fantomex. It's a little harder to do since you do need a turn to activate him, but like you could do it on that turn 5-6 if you have on turn 5 at latest, if you have Magic down and you're hitting that turn 7, it's pretty solid. So I really do like Nico. Blade is here because he's just more consistent than Black Cat. The problem with Black Cat, even though I prefer her more, is that if you draw her that last turn, you have no way to discard her right away. Where if Blade, if you're running Morgan Le Fay, you can just do whatever. Like if you need a discard, you can just play him, play Morgan Le Fay, and boom, you're gonna get that card back if you absolutely have to. And he's also a one cost. It's really fun to open up the game with him, and you see, he's in your hand. Turn 3, he's in your hand still. Marrow's on the board, like just drawn, and then like boom, free infliction. So yeah, Blade. I prefer Black Cat, but like Blade is more consistent. Wild Child here because he's just a 9 power, a 2/9. It's not bad. It's really nice. You can clone him with Nico. It works. It's really cheap. It's efficient. He's just a good drop and safe from Shang-Chi, which is not ultra relevant right now in the meta, I don't think. But like, if there's ever a meta where like Shang-Chi's is getting spammed out and popping 10+ powers, he's safe. Marrow, like the best single 2-drop card in this deck. Probably, like, I don't want to say she's the best 2-drop in the game, because I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I think there's a lot of fantastic 2-drops, but I think she's up there and contending for what she's doing, because she's like a 2/10, essentially. She gives you -7 power. All you have to do is discard and destroy her. She's a really good card when it comes to her design. I don't think she's broken. I think she's just a good card for what her purpose is, since it's so niche. You're not really running her in typical destroy anyway. She's literally designed for Fantomex. And because of that, she's pretty balanced. Because like, you're not really running her in destroy. You're not really running her in just exclusively discard. There's no reason to. There's other things you want to go for in discard. She's designed for Fantomex, which is why I think it's okay. Also, I love this art. Magik. Draw tech. It's not literally draw, it's more so turn 7. Oh, look, I can play Scorpion, I can play Blade. Turn 7. Or you can do whatever else you want to do on that turn 7 that might be efficient. It depends on like if you have Scorpion down by turn 6, you have Fantomex on the board by turn 5. I love Lady Deathstrike on turn 7. It's fantastic if you really need to like reach something like a Luke Cage or something. It just depends on the situation, but turn 7 is really nice for this deck because it lets you set up more shenanigans. Gambits. The best discard pair with Fantomex because you're destroying something on the board that doesn't activate Fantomex, no, but it removes a high-value target potentially off their board, Luke Cage, or maybe a high-value target, like, depends when you play them. It might just snipe something really strong that you're trying to contest with. But he's your discard. He's your second discard, essentially. And whatever he tosses out, Morgan Le Fay can retrieve as long as it's not her getting tossed out. Even if it is her getting tossed out, you're not going to be mad about it because that just means you don't have to play her. He did his job. You prefer him throwing out like something like this. Or this, if you haven't played it. Ideally, anything, ideally he can toss anything out as long as it's not Fantomex and Scorpion. Scorpion can be fine. If it's like early on because you can retrieve him, but it feels really bad if it's Fantomex, so I don't usually play Gambit unless Fantomex is already on the board or my hand's clear of Fantomex, right? So those are kind of like my typical go-tos for discard is Blade and Gambits. Venom is really good. Originally, like, I wanted to say like Carnage is like better, and I still think that stands true in some situations because like if you're playing against a Galactus and they're throwing Hobgoblins and Green Goblins at you, you can just eat those and not have to worry about it. Where if you eat him with Venom, he's gonna inflict negative on himself, right? However, with the tech of Nico being able to clone, with the tech of Morgan Le Fay also able to like bring back things, Venom is a very interesting choice because he gives you that little bit of extra utility, which is you're able to, once again, clone him with Nico after he's done performing his duty, because it's not an instant clone. He's going to eat whatever it is first, and then she'll clone him. So he'll go to your hand clone stronger. Then he could eat himself potentially, and you can Morgan Le Fay that. It will get 3+ power, and then he's just bigger on top of the bigger. Like, there's just more value in him when it comes to scaling, but it's not necessarily always going to be better than Carnage in every scenario, especially since Carnage is a cost less, and it's going to be better for cleaning up like those nasty little squirrels, or, you know, negative creatures on your side, or negative cards on your side. Carnage is a better overall, like, safer, like, Minesweeper, where this guy's just going to get you some power on your board and be relatively happy with it as a win condition. Morgan Le Fay. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards, and I love this art. It's probably my favorite art in the game. It's so good for obvious reasons. Anyway, and the green eyes. Anyway, Morgan Le Fay is here because she's a valuable tech pick. This allows you to play Blade recklessly. This allows you to destroy things on your board a little bit more recklessly if you have to, because you can just bring them back later with 3+ power. I think the biggest thing to take away from this unit is that she's going to recycle your hands in the late phase. Like after you play your cards, you're only down, like you only have one card in your hand. It's not exactly a win condition. You got some discards, you got some destroys. She'll recycle your hand. So later on, like that turn 7, Morgan Le Fay, if you play her like turn 6 or turn 5, and you're set up for that turn 7, those turn 7s that she brings back could be so good for you. Could be so good for you. It could be a Gambit. It can be like she can bring back Gambit. She can bring you back Marrow. If you discarded your Blade, you can get your Blade back to, you know, and then he's 1/6, and then you could potentially snipe this again. You know, you have the value of maybe getting your Wild Child if, you know, it was discarded or destroyed. It's just a recycle, and it's a really good recycle. I think of her as a recycler because, like, you're gonna run out of cards eventually because, like, your cards are usually normally pretty low to the ground, and you're able to get them out pretty consistently. Outside, like, the last three, like Fantomex, Deathstrike, and Scorpion are a little high in cost, but, like, all the other cards are really low to the floor, and you're gonna have extra energy anyway. And a lot of times, Morgan Le Fay is just gonna be a great hand cycler. and she'll give you your cards back, and you're able to do more infliction. There's more value for Scorpion. If you bring back your Silver Sable because you ate it with Venom along with the Marrow, like that's a nasty turn, by the way. If you play Silver Sable turn 1, Marrow turn, and you eat them with Venom, and then on turn 4 you Morgan Le Fay, or on turn 5 you Morgan Le Fay, you bring these two back. She'll be a 1/7. This will be a 2/6. If you're lucky, you can discard it again with like Gambit or like whatever it is you're trying to do. You won't be able to destroy it with Deathstrike at that point, but like there's always that extra chance that you can just get more infliction on the board and activate this a second time, depending on how you did it. A lot of value with that. Morgan Le Fay's like goated. She's such a good tech pick. Fantomex, your core card for this deck. This deck doesn't work without Fantomex. You can win games without Fantomex, but it doesn't work as a core without Fantomex. Scorpion is so good that if you just toss Marrow out twice and you're able to inflict twice with her and get like -14 on the board, Scorpion can just win you the game. However, you ideally want Fantomex on the board to do the work for you because his afflictions are going to be the most consistent when it comes to overall power change. Because you're not just -2ing across the board, it's a -4 across the board, which is a lot more power for this guy. He's a lot bigger than he looks. He's not just a 4/7. He's a 4/7, -2, -2, -2, -2, -2, -2, -2. Right? And then it goes again because of how he works with Scorpion. It's -4 then. So it's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. He's so valuable, Scorpion. It's stupid how good him and Scorpion are together. Like, they are the perfect pair. They do so much cooking. Doesn't matter how big your opponent is. They will cook the biggest decks. For example, I was going against a Daredevil deck when I was climbing to Infinite, and Daredevil decks get really big because they play really big things. Even though they were like 40 plus power in every zone, Fantomex, Marus, and Scorpion they don't care. They will just drop that shit under 10 power and you're winning. It's really gross. Really, really good. I can't tell you how much of this, like how much I like this guy. He's like my favorite card in the game when it comes to his style. He's so good. Deathstrike. I like Deathstrike. I've been using her less lately. Not because she's bad. I think she's still like that unit to play when you're like, her value comes from doing one of 3 things. You don't have a destroy, Marrow's on the board, you got a destroyer, she can target her. That's like bare minimum value, right? Her bigger value comes from sniping out Wongs, getting rid of like Venus as soon as possible if she's not scaling. And then the big one is sniping Luke Cage, getting rid of that Luke Cage. Luke Cage is the counter to Fantomex because he only blocks negatives in the front row. Fantomex is the front row guy. So Deathstrike's gonna be that girl to like get rid of that problem for you and just get rid of, like, usually what happens in most of my games whenever they play a Luke Cage and Deathstrike destroys it, they surrender. The game's over. They surrender. They give up. So that's her value. She's literally just a win con if they play Luke Cage or like a Wong. Scorpion. Probably the best card in the deck when it comes to what it's doing. Not saying it's the best card like in the game. I don't know if that's true. It's hard to say how like good this dude is on a scale. His flaw is that he's expensive. Being a 6 cost means you need to have the value. The upside of his value is he's got a lot of value in certain areas. Like in Fantomex, he's got a lot of value. Because 6/8 is not really true. He may get nerfed down to his... He may get nerfed down to a 7. I'm not going to say the first. He may be, you know, a 7 power, 6 cost. Yeah, screw you guys. I personally wouldn't mind this guy. Man, I would love this guy to be a cheaper cost unit. But his ability is so good. Like, the issue with Scorpion is that his ability is so strong. It is so strong. It's so strong. And the coolest thing about this guy is even if they nerf him in the future, and they're like, well, he's like just a better Diamondback, for example, and he just applies -2s to like the current like cards. The only one that's hurting out of that at the end of the day would probably be Marrow. Bone Marrow, like Marrow, right? Because you can technically like you can -14 someone if you hit like that first target. Fantomex isn't going to be changed by anything. I don't think they're gonna like ever like change like him not in some way impacting afflictions or reductions. If Scorpion is nerfed in the future, I assume they're just gonna put it as a number, like kind of like Diamondback, like they put a set number, and he's still good with Fantomex, as long as it's not like, oh, only -1s. If it's only -1s, then he's just a bad card. But if they like, if it's -2s, still great Fantomex, still gonna be like the best card for Fantomex. Or they might just leave him alone. Honestly, they might just leave him alone. I don't know. I really don't know. They might revert Luke Cage, and that's gonna be cringe. But like, I don't know. The Scorpion's on that line of like people hate him because of how good he is, but like they don't really run the solutions to blocking him when he's an ongoing card. You can just block the ongoing effect. He's counterable. I don't know. I like him. He's cool. But yeah, that's the deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and play these games. Enjoy. There's gonna be no commentary or anything. Just me destroying people with Fantomex and infinite like grinding. I don't really do it that much. And you'll kind of see what I mean by like Fantomex doo-doos on Thanos. It's just that simple. Like Fantomex doo-doos in his gun. Like he's shooting shit at you because he's bad. Like Thanos isn't bad. He's just bad against Fantomex. Like really bad into Fantomex. And it's enjoyable to just kind of troll the guy. Because it's not his fault that he's bad in the Fantomex. It's just Fantomex is really well designed to like play into this guy's best deck, which is the Quicksilver, Domino, Wiccan decks. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Thanos just cannot handle Fantomex in most scenarios. I'm not saying you're gonna win every game, but like you have a good chance of winning if you draw well. And Thanos is a really goddamn good deck. So I don't know. Maybe just Fantomex is just popping off lately because of like Scorpion. I think that's the biggest reason the Scorpion is so good. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and have fun. Peace.